to this event. Not awkward, just aware, safeguarding for 20 and teens. That's what we're going to be talking about. Now, as you're joining us, please, it's important you tell us where you're joining us from, which of the town or city in United Kingdom or outside United Kingdom you are joining us from. I'm speaking directly to you from Leeds. I'm Lola Labi. I'm the host of this event. I've got some other friends of mine, colleagues of mine that we run it together at the background as well. And of course, at some point, one or two of them will speak. But at the moment, I just want us to bow our head because it's a Christian platform. Let us pray. Our Father and our God, we thank you for this opportunity to come into your presence. Thank you for teaching us your way of doing things. Thank you for saving us in this crooked world. Thank you for showing us how to keep ourselves, our children, our teenagers, and ourselves safe in this wicked world. Thank you, Father, for helping us to be sensitive to all that your Spirit will be speaking to us. We thank you and we give you praise. In Jesus' name we are prayed. Amen. So you are all welcome. As we keep coming in, make sure you drop in the chat where you are joining us from. Right. I want to say a big thank you to every one of you that joined us so far. Today is going to be a bit different. Boy Smart Girl of today is going to be a bit different because we're going to be talking about safeguarding. And in the recent time, you must have seen a lot of events on the TV. You must have heard it in social media, or how children, teenagers, 20s, are being abused. And today, most of the time when you see safeguarding being talked about, it's always about talking to parents. But this time around, we're going to switch it in the head. We want to talk to the teenagers themselves. We want to talk to the 20s themselves. We want to let them know, teenagers, we are here. We want you to know what to look out for so that you not be abused by anybody, whether by an adult or by a child of your age or around your age bracket, because that does happen as well. And that is why we are here, and that's why we are looking at this important topic and speaking to you teenagers and speaking to you 20s. And I said 20s, I'm talking about those from age 10 downward to 12 and all that. And Boy Smart Girl is for 12, anything from 12 to 19. But of course, we have our parents in our online Boy Smart Girl, because it's not complete for us to talk about these issues without us involving our mom and dad. It's important that they are here to listen and hear and learn how best they can keep us safe, because that is their responsibility towards us. So today we'll get into not awkward, just aware. It's safeguarding for you, the teenager and the 20. Is that okay? So, and in the first thing we're going to do is to go into this Slido. I will want us to go into that. Just to present it. What word comes to mind when you hear safeguarding? Sorry. You can put it in the chat as well. What word comes to mind when you talk about safeguarding? What word comes to mind when we talk about safeguarding? Anybody? You can put it in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and speak to us. Whichever one works for you is fine with us. When you hear safeguarding children or parents, if you're an adult, you are there, you can engage with us as well. We'll wait on you to put your answers in there. We are waiting to hear what you guys have got to say. I'm trying to log into my Slido as well so that I can launch it. Just a moment, I'm trying to get back into. I hope you can still hear me. Right, I'm just protection. Somebody said protection, warfare, yeah. Harm prevention, yeah. Protection, thank you. I can see those coming through in there. To defend against danger. I'm wondering how come. I hope you can get into my Slido. I don't know. To defend against danger, absolutely. So we keep bringing in the word if anyone comes to mind, and all of that does means a big thing for us as we look into this all important topic. Right. So let's see what safeguarding is. Now, safeguarding, like one of us has said in the chat, it is one of the words that comes to mind is protection. Protecting you and your friends, is about protecting you as a child, how to stay safe, understanding how you can stay safe and protect even your own friends as well, not just yourself, also your friend, how you can protect them. It's about learning your rights and your own responsibility in keeping safe. Is that okay? Is knowing who to speak to if you need help as a teenager, as a young person, as a child. If you need to speak to somebody on, on, on how you can be protected, we are going to be telling you who you can speak to. And that's what this program is all about this evening. Safeguarding is everyone's responsibility, and it is to empower you and others to know how to protect, on how best to protect yourself. That is the essence of what we are doing today. Is that okay, everyone? Now, what is safeguarding? Safeguarding is protecting you and other young people from harm, abuse, or exploitation. It's all about ensuring that you are not exploited by an adult or by another child or another teenager, because that does happens. It's not only adults that abuse children. Sometimes it could even be children. It's also ensuring your well-being and safety at all times. It's also about recognizing the risk that are around you and unsafe situation that you may find yourself. Ability for you to note that, to know those risks and unsafe situation and how best you can quickly come out of it. That is what safeguarding is all about. It's helping you to create a safe community for yourself and for your friends and your family members as well. And that's why we're talking about this to yourself as a child, as a teenager, as a tweening. At that 10 is an age of responsibility as well. Is you be responsible for anything from 10 to 19 or to 18. You should learn how to keep safe. It's all about protecting you and other young people from harm. Safeguarding is quite broad. It's different from protection. Safeguarding is what we do to make sure that harm does not happen, abuse does not happen. It's like a preventive measure. What we can do to prevent it from happening. But when abuse have now happened or risk has taken place, then we talk about protection. And that is when we call it child protection. And whatever we now do, we trigger child protection order measures to be put in place. And that is where you see sometimes you hear children, you hear, or teenager, you hear teenager like yourself or a child like yourself being taken away from your parent. If it is your parent that is the perpetrator of the abuse, or if it is an adult, they take you away from that environment or from wherever is responsible for that harm or exploitation or abuse. It could even be an uncle, it could be a relative. Whoever that person is, they want to take you away from there. That is when we talk about child protection. Now, and this is quite an interesting statistics that we've got here. According to statistics, 1 in 5 children experience abuse or neglect. So what we are talking about is real. So if we put 5 children, 5 teenagers, 5 20s down, 1 always would have experienced abuse or neglect, according to NSPCC. 80% of teenagers experience online harassment by UK Saver Internet Center. 80%, you can imagine. If out of 100% of teenagers in the UK goes online, 80% have experienced online harassment. 92.6% of children go online daily or almost daily. 92%, 92.6%. It's quite a phenomenal data here. Out of all the children, 100% children that we have in the UK, only just 8% does not go online. You can imagine. So most of the time, you children, you teenagers, you are online all the time. You have phones with you. You see children that are 8 years old, 9 years old, they have phones now. 7 years old, they have phones in their hands. 35% accept a friend request from someone they don't know. And this is one of the things we're going to be talking about. Don't accept friends' requests from somebody you don't know. They may appear looking like friend, but they are not. They might even be adults. They might just want to prey on you. They might just want to take advantage of you. But because they're on the internet, you won't know. They might put a picture of somebody that looks like an adult, like looks like a child like your age, but they are not. But they're actually what? Adult. Who is just there and ready to what? To harm you or ready to take advantage of you. 19.2 spoke with someone online they never met in person. 19.2 children, teenagers, speak with someone they've never met in person. Speaking to strangers, you can imagine. Speaking to strangers. And that's what happens. You see our children speaking to strangers because parents, I'm talking also to you that are online. And children, you imagine you talking to a stranger, somebody you have never met before. But this time around, because it's online, you don't feel the danger in it instantly. You can imagine if you open your door and then you go outside there and you are speaking to somebody you have never met in your life. You know how you will feel. You feel unsafe because you have never met them before. But this time around, you are doing that. That's what you are doing online when you are speaking to somebody, a total stranger that you have never met before. It's the same. 34.9% experience in-person bullying. Almost 35% of children that goes online are being bullied online. Experience in-person bullying. In person, face to face. This one is not just online, sorry. I will show you the online one. That 34.9% experience in bullying face to face. And then let's see those that get bullied online. Almost 20%, 19.1% experience online bullying. Out of 100 children that goes online every day, almost 1/5 of it experience online bullying. 19% of 10 to 15 years old exchange messages with a stranger. Parents that are online, you can see these things are, this data are real. These are 2026 data. And that's why we need to watch out for our children. And that's why I said this event has been extended to 20 as well. Between 10 to 19, 18. You need to know how to save yourself, because we discovered that you're always online. Your presence is there. And the predators, the pedophiles, those that are looking out to harm you, to exploit you, are also waiting for you. And that's why we are teaching you what we are teaching you. If you have a friend that is not online yet, why not? If not, call them and ask them to join it, to come and listen, to see how best they can save themselves, help themselves. Over 9,000 child sexual abuse offenses involved an online element. You can imagine. Over 9,000 child sexual abuse offenses involve an online element. So just because you are in your room as a child and you are behind your desk doesn't mean that you cannot be abused. You can even be abused sexually as well. And we're going to talk about how that is, how that can come about, and what you can do to prevent yourself. Around 1 in 6 of online harassment victims are under 18. For every 6 children, 1 have experienced online harassment. Parents, that's why it's important that we need to know how best we are to take care, to take care and protect and keep our children safe. Most of us have given our children phone now. We've given them system. They have the laptops, and most of them, they will be in their room. I want to tell you that what you are giving to them is almost as if you have put your child into a world where there is no precaution. The world has become a global village online. Your child can be in your house, but you'll be shocked that they'll be dealing with individuals who are in other continents, who does not know safety, who does not know child safety, who does not know what is called child, who does not know there is boundaries. And that's why you as a child, as a teenager, you need to watch out for yourself. You need to know how to keep safe. We all the time we speak to your mom, we speak to your dad, we speak to your carers, but today we want to talk to you, the teenager yourself. We want to talk to you, the child yourself. Because if you are 10, you should be able, from age 10 years old, 9 years old, if you've got a phone in your hand, as far as I'm concerned, this event is for you. You should be able, at all time, know how best to take care of yourself, how best to protect yourself. Is that okay? Now, can we mention different types of abuse a tweenie or teens can experience? What are the different types of abuse that a tweenie or a child, whether a tweenie that's between 10 and 12 or 13 to 19 to 18, what type of abuse do you think they are likely to experience? Yes? Let's see in the chat. Mental abuse, thank you, Joy. Any other one? Which is emotional, isn't it? Psychological abuse. Emotional abuse, thank you, Mommy. Thank you, Ma. Emotional abuse, absolutely. Which is emotional abuse? Neglect. Yeah, you can actually neglect yourself as a teenager because we expect you by this time around, you should be able to know how to take care of yourself. But when you wake up in the morning and you don't take care of yourself and you don't have your bath for the next 5 days, All you just want to do is to just be, browsing, just be doing games just because you're on that term. You are neglecting yourself. Thank you, Rema. Physical abuse. Thank you, ma. When you are being beaten, or you are beating somebody, you are punching, or all manner of abuse. Yeah, physical abuse. Yes, any other one? Any particular abuse that are peculiar to teenagers? There are some particular ones there. Cyberbullying. Thank you, Judah. Cyberbullying is a big one, where you are being bullied online, being shamed, you are being harassed, body shaming, all of those things. Sexual abuse, yeah, that's another one, Joy. Sexual abuse, it does happen, and it could be online or physical. Bullying, yeah. Absolutely. Let's see. Thank you for engaging with me in the chat there. These are types of traditional abuse and neglect. They are common ones we talk about. But I'm going to still go up. After this one, I'm going to show you a slide that are peculiar to teenagers and twinning. It could be physical abuse, deliberately causing physical injury, where physical injury is being caused deliberately on you, whether your person caring for you, beating you with stick or belt or whatever, or eating you, forget me knock, all those things physically, which is not acceptable. Emotional abuse, persistent belittling you, talking down on you, and all of this abuse, you can even be the one doing it to somebody else too. You can be the one doing it to your sibling, which is why we are talking to you about it. That we don't want you to grow up and be an abuser. I will let you know, in some of these things, you will say, but you're like, oh, but why is it that adults, especially African, those adults that grew up from African background, why is it that they beat? It's because that's the way we were raised. But having come to United Kingdom, we discovered that it's an abuse. When we were growing up, we didn't know it's an abuse. We didn't know it's an abuse on us. And that has produced a lot of broken adults. And that's why we're talking about it now, that we're making a change. If we all need to change, we need to change. If you are born in the UK or you are born any other part of the world, we are saying to you, don't go the path of your mom or dad. I'm so sure them themselves, that because having learned all these things, they have not made a change. They now know, they realize that, oh, I'm not supposed to be doing that. Just because my father and my mother raised me like that, I'm not allowed to raise my own children like that. Deliberately causing physical injury, emotional abuse, persistent belittling, being threatened, somebody threatening you online or on your street, or some gangs telling you that you have to join them. If you don't, we are going to come and burn your house down. Isolation, when you isolate yourself, or some people, or some of your friends isolate you from their group, that is emotional abuse. Or you doing that in your school, ganging up with some other girls or boys and not playing with another set of people, another child. That is emotional abuse. Making somebody else to feel worthless. You are not allowed to do that. You are not allowed to make any child to feel worthless. Whether you are a child to a child, you are a child to a child, you are not allowed to do that. Even an adult too is not allowed to do that to you, to make you feel worthless. That's emotional abuse. Then sexual abuse is talking about inappropriate sexual behaviors, exposure to adult content. You are not supposed to be watching films that are rated 18 and above. Adult content, that's not what you should be watching. Children on the call, teenagers, I'm talking to you. Be careful what type of film rating you are watching. You should be watching pornography and all of that. Even adults, we don't watch it, except from perverse adults. Don't expose yourself to adult content or being forced or enticed into sexual activity by an adult or other person. whether one uncle or auntie or your teacher in school, they are not allowed to undress themselves and expose themselves to you, or you exposing yourself to, or them telling you to expose yourself or take a video of yourself. I'm going to get to that. Take a picture of yourself and send to them. It's not allowed. Either is your friend that is asking you to do so as a child or as an adult is not acceptable. It's sexual abuse. Whatever the age group of that person who is telling you to do that. Neglect is another one. The failure to meet basic physical, emotional, medical needs, such as lack of proper supervision, failure to protect from significant harm. And that's why it's important that your parents are not supposed to neglect you. Children, if your father, your mother is going out and you're just 10 years old, 11 years old, 12 years old, and you are sleeping overnight, it's not acceptable in the UK. Of course, some of us 13, 14, 15, 16 are mature enough to know how to take care of ourselves. But the question is, in the case of fire, do you know what to do as a child, as a teenager? If fire breaks out in your house now, your mom is not around, your dad is not around, Kara is not around, do you know what to do? Do you know what next to do? Do you know what to do? Will you just sit down there and be panicking? Or your senses should tell you that, oh, I should get the key and run out and go and call fire services and call your parents? If you, as an adult, if you leave children that cannot think in such times what to do, that child should not be left at home. Even if that child is 18, I want you to go back after this event. Ask your child, if fire breaks up in our house now and I'm not at home, do you know what to do? If they cannot answer you correctly, then that child cannot be left at home. And I hope in the UK, we don't have a particular age, as it were, where we say, okay, at this age, child can be left alone by themselves at home. But what happened is this. We see 16, 18, but it depends on the maturity of the child. Now, but if anything happens, if you leave a child at home, anything happens, fire breaks out, and whatever happens and is dangerous for that child, I hope you know as an adult on the call, the penalty will go back to you, because that child, as long as it's under 18, they will come for you. As long as they are under 18, they will come for you. And that's why you should be thinking that this child I'm to live in the house. That's why you see some children, some are just 10, 11, 12, but they are very matured. They know health and safety. They know what to do in such situations. But you will see a 16-year-old child in such situation will be perplexed, overwhelmed, will not know what to do until he or she gets burnt. So it's about knowing what to do in such situations. Then we have online abuse as well, which we talked about earlier, cyberbullying, grooming. You see some adults, grooming, teaching children, teenagers, young adults, trainings, teaching you all manner of things, on how to carry drugs from one place to another. Can you just help us move out this money from one account to another account? Grooming, and then sexual grooming as well. Chicken box, they buy chicken for you when you're coming from school because they know that you keep loitering around. They know that you don't go home on time, and they've been watching you. And then they'll bet you, they'll buy chicken for you. You always enter McDonald's instead of going home with your friends, and you guys just sit down there, just talking, chatting, and then that man, that notorious individual, a pedophile, is seated somewhere looking at you guys, watching out for you, because they're there to groom you. When they notice you are ever going back there and you don't go home straight, a day will come, they're like, oh, do you want us to buy you something? And then they'll buy you chicken, they'll buy you fish and chips, they'll buy you ice cream, and you're like, wow. And you're like, oh, thank you, and you start eating. And then they're like, are you coming tomorrow or next tomorrow? And then you come again. Then they buy again. Then the time will not come, they'll not tell you, for all the things we have been doing for you, there is one thing we want to ask a favor of you too. Remember, because you have eaten their food, you are taking their jewelries, you are taking money from them, you can't say no. And that's how grooming starts. They start introducing all sorts of things to you. Please and please be careful. Anything from age 8, as long as your mom and dad can have given you phone. In fact, this training is for you. This topic we are talking about is talking to you. You should be able to say, no, I can't stay here. You are not allowed to accept gifts from strangers. Then the social media pressure is also there. Oh, my friend is wearing an 18-karat gold. How can your friend, who is just 16, wearing designer dresses, and he or she is not working? Even if she's working, how much is she earning at age 18 or 16 that she has 16-karat gold, or she's wearing, or he or she is wearing expensive designer dress, and you want to copy that person? No, don't let social media, what you see on social media, pressurize you to go and be doing what you are not supposed to be doing. Online abuse, or you expose yourself to online abuse. You replying messages that doesn't concern you, talking to somebody way older than you, but because they're on the social media, online, you can't see them. The picture they are putting of themselves looks like as if they are young children, but they are not. You are just talking anyhow to them, and before you know it, they start having conversation with you so deep. And before I say Jacobinism, for some cases that we've heard, they will lure some of these young adults. There was a child that was killed, during the COVID-19. They were bullying him online. They were insulting him, and then a time came, some of his friends collude with some other people, and they lure him. They asked him to come to the park close to his house. And him not knowing, he came out thinking that his friends were there. That was where they beat hell out of him, and he died. These are real life situations. You don't have to be in that situation. Children, you don't have to. Teenagers, you don't have to. We also have modern slavery and trafficking, forcing teenagers to work, performing tasks against your will, or treating you like a commodity. That does happen also. You see, teenagers are being taken from European countries, they are being brought into UK, and they are being forced, or even from African countries. They come with their Japa uncle and Japa auntie, who says to their mom or their uncles or aunt that, oh, we are going to take care of your child. We're going to send your child to school. And on bringing your child to UK, that teenager to UK, you are not working, you are not going to school, is not acceptable. Please, if you're a teenager, you know anybody or any child that in this kind of a situation, who is in UK, but they are not going to school, you know that that child is in that house, don't go to school, is not, that needs to be reported to the police. Because it's possible that child or teenager might have been trafficked from Africa or from Asia, from European countries into UK, and being treated as commodities, and that is not acceptable. It's a form of abuse. Then I want to talk about child-on-child abuse. These are common ones that you see, a type of abuse that you see with our teenagers. Teenagers, you can bear with me on this. Where child-on-child abuse is where harm is inflicted by other young people. And this is one of the most prominent safeguarding concerns among tweenies and teenagers. This is where a young person is one inflicting harm or injury or abuse on you. Examples are bullying and cyberbullying, which is it could be very intentional. You see some gangs of teenagers bullying a particular boy or girl, repeatedly inflicting harm, abusing the person, humiliating the person, sending hate words, harassing the person over social media. This is very common. Please, as a teenager, as a young child, please don't involve yourself in this. If you got a friend doing this, make sure you get yourself out of it. Also, sexual violence and harassment happen between two young children. It does happen. Children under 18 having unwanted sexual comment being sent to you, or them touching you in an appropriate way. A younger person of your age touching you, or older, just older, coercing you from friends, coercion from friends telling you, oh, come on, everybody is, nobody is a virgin anymore. What are you waiting for? Why are you not having sex? Well, none of that. Sexually harassing you, telling you to, pressurizing you into things that you are not supposed to do. And then we have what is called sexting. This one are nudes, being pressured to share explicit images, facing non-consensual image sharing. You call it revenge probe, where you see a young girl or young boy by themselves, undress themselves, and then they are taking pictures. You now do a video of your naked self, and you now send it out to your so-called, you call the is my boyfriend, whether my boyfriend said I should send my nude picture, he's missing me, want to be checking my face. Don't you ever do that. That is called sexting. It's a form of abuse. Whether it's that your boyfriend or girlfriend is of your age or older, is an abuse. Abuse is an abuse. Don't ever do that. Don't share your pictures. Don't share your images with a boy or a girl you meet in school. And that reminds me of a story, a real life story of a young girl who, I think at that time she was just in what age, in secondary school. She had a boyfriend, and she took a video, took her phone, did a video of herself, of her bottom below. Do a video of her bottom below, take a picture and send it to her boyfriend. And the boyfriend has a friend in school. The boyfriend called his close friend and shared it with him. And his close friend also has another friend of his as well. He shared it with that one too. And that friend of that friend also shared it with his friend and the friend and the friend. Before you know it, everybody in the school have had the picture and the image of this young girl. And before you know it, everybody was now, when she passed, they said, that's the girl, that's the girl, that's the girl. Is that what you want for yourself as a young girl, as a young boy? Even if somebody first send it to you, because that's another thing they do. Some adults, they send their own picture of their nude, of their private part. They send it to you, and then I tell you, can you send yours too? Don't ever send it to them. Tell them I never asked you to send it to me, and please clear off. You block them off. Even if the person is your boyfriend or girlfriend, even if they are your boyfriend or girlfriend, that is not allowed. It's an abuse. Talking about what happens between children. These are things that happen. You see a lot of that happening in our schools. Sending nude pictures around, videos around of themselves. Then we have physical violence. In the name of, oh, he's my boyfriend, and your boyfriend says, oh, why have you not called me since? I've been asking for your pension, and before he said they're coming to you, he gave you a dirty slap. Is initiation rituals of physical fighting between peers. Where children, you see children, they are both children, they are under 18, and they are in relationship. And because they are not mature, both of them are not mature, they are children. They are fighting each other, they are abusing each other, and raping each other. All of these things are not allowed. Abuse is abuse. Child on child. Of course, we do have children on child, but we also have children on children, child on child abuse. And then we also have exploitation. This is another one that is common with the teens and tweenies, because that age group, the age group you guys are in as a teenager, as a tweening, is quite a particular one, very peculiar. You are really vulnerable to manipulations, where you can be coerced into illegal activities for the gain of others. where you have child sexual exploitation, when teenagers are being manipulated, you are being coerced, deceived into sexual activity in exchange for something. It could be for chicken box, it could be for money, it could be for drugs, it could be for, oh, I love you, you know. When a teenager of 16 or 14 having a boyfriend of about 25 years old, and then the 25 years old man is telling you what to do, telling you, you know, luring you into sexual activities, telling you that, oh, if you don't do that, I'm not going to be your girlfriend or boyfriend. I hope you know that anything under 18 in the UK, if an adult is asking you for out, having sexual conversation with you, I hope you know that that is child sexual exploitation. You need to report it. Whether they're your cousin, your uncle, no, it doesn't matter. Your stepfather, your stepmother, it doesn't matter. Your teacher, whoever, your pastor, it doesn't matter. Your Sunday school teacher, your Sunday teens church teacher, it doesn't matter. Whoever the person is, your father, it doesn't matter. They must be reported. They are not allowed to manipulate you. Then we also have the child criminal exploitation and county lines. When young children are groomed and forced into illegal activities such as carrying drugs across different geographical locations, often using fear or debt bondage. We see that a lot, even in the UK here. You see, you see young children, 10, 11, when they're supposed to be in school, they will not be in school. Or when they're supposed to be going home, they will not be at home. They will not be going home. They'll be running around town, carrying shoulder bags around with drugs inside it, and then moving drugs. Because knows that when they move drugs, police can easily get them. But when they give it to children, young people under 18, they know that police hardly stop them. So they use them to move drugs. The drugs that they are selling, they used to use them to move it around. And that's why we parents have to watch out for our children. When you start seeing your children wearing expensive dresses or wearing things that doesn't belong to them, that you didn't buy for them, you should question them. Or when they have sack of money, you like, where did you get this from? You should question them. When they start wearing expensive dresses, using expensive phone, and they're just 12, 13, and you didn't buy it for them, you should question them as adults. Because the adult that is somewhere that is using your child to do this, to move drugs around, are what? Also baiting them. They use fear. They tell them, if you don't carry that drug, I'm coming to your house to come and kill your mom. I'm coming. You have to rise up to help your child. Because some of these children, it's not that they want to do it, but because of the fear of what that adult could do to them, they just have to what? They just have to do what they need to do. They are forced to do what they is telling them to do. Please, we need to watch out for our children. We need to watch out. We cannot allow our children to be exploited by these criminals. Another one that happens with teenagers and tweenies is radicalization and extremism. They are being targeted. Teenagers and tweenies are targets of extremist group, both online and offline. And radicalization is considered a safeguarding issue where young people are groomed into terrorist-related ideology or activity. And we need to know that, there was an incident that happened of when IC issue happened in UK, I think about 3 years or 4 years ago. And then some girls left UK and went to meet their so-called boyfriend in Syria or something like that. They were radicalized. They were extremists by the extremists. And they were sold ideas that if they come to Syria or something, or where they were the heat of the issue at that time, thinking that they're going to overcome the entire world. Is that possible? But that isn't possible, and they conquered them. And some of those girls are still in those places, in some of these, refugee camps, because UK refused to have them back. And can somebody put the name of that particular lady? Judas, I think you should remember the name of that lady who they refused to allow her to. She was born in the UK, but they took the passport from her and they never allowed her back in because they were radicalized by their so-called boyfriend. Please, let's watch out for some of these things as well as parents. I think her name is something Begum or something like that. I remember that young lady, who she was, Shami Begum. Thank you. Shami Begum, yeah. You need to go and read that story. It's a public story. A young girl, a teenager who was radicalized and was never, she was born in UK, but they took the British passport from her and told her to go and stay there with them because she had been radicalized. They don't want you back. Another one is teens dating violence. Abuse that occurs within a tweenie or teen's own romantic, intimate relationship. When two teenagers or one tweenie or one teenagers are in a relationship, those are the kind of abuse that happens in there. It can mirror adult kind of abuse. It's similar to the abuse they experience is similar to the domestic abuse that adults experience. You see a young girl, she's so tired, she's so worn off because her boyfriend is not happy with her, because the boyfriend is pressurizing her to have sex with her, or the boyfriend is asking her to open an account and move money from his own account, one big huge money from her own account to somebody's account, and she knows that this thing is wrong. All manner of things that goes on there. Teens dating violence. This can mirror adult domestic abuse and includes, it could be physical abuse, it could be emotional manipulation, it could be stalking. They'll be stalking you, they'll put cameras in your bag, they are monitoring you everywhere, using your Snapchat to monitor where you are all the time, using Google to check you, where are you, for what? Don't sell your freedom to anybody in the name of I'm in love with somebody. No. If somebody loves you, the person will not be stalking you. Will not be afraid to lose you. And then coercive control. Please, children, I want you to know this. Don't let anybody coerce you. What you don't want to do, they are pressurizing you to do it. Oh, if you don't do it now. Hurry, quickly do it now. If you don't do it, no, nobody should hurry you. Nobody should pressurize you to do these things, to do things like such things. Now, I just want to talk quickly a bit around healthy relationship guide. Now, for those that are in boyfriend or girlfriend relationship, or relationship that you go into when you grow up as a young adult, as a teenager, as a tweening, I want you to know that there is nobody that says he or she is in love with you, that they should know first thing, consent. Consent, they must understand consent. And you yourself must understand what it means. Consent means to give permission for something to happen. If you don't consent to it, it is an abuse. No matter how the person says he or she loves you, such as having sex with you, such as using your account to move large sum of money from one place to another, or telling you to carry one drug from one place to another. No. Healthy relationship talk about consent. There must be consent. There must be boundaries in your relationship. What you don't want to do, nobody should force you to do it. If I don't want to kiss you, I'm not kissing you. Can I kiss you? No. You should. There has to be consent. Should I? They should be able to say, should I stop? Can I kiss you? Do you want me to keep going? Is this okay? And when you say no, no is no. Whether you're a young boy, you should know when they say no. When the guest tells you no, is no. And that's why we are saying to you, sex without consent is illegal in the UK. Don't say, oh, she's my girlfriend. That's why I know I'm just because we are in a relationship. No. No matter whether you're in a relationship or not, doesn't matter. Even if you are married to the person in the UK, you can't have sex with the person without the person consent. You can't touch a girl anyhow. If she tells you take your hands off, you should stop it. You should stop it. Whether you're a boy or a girl. And what are the red flags for you to know that in this relationship you are in, or you see two teenagers are in, or your friend is in, and he or she is telling you about it, and you are seeing some things like this? You should know there's no consent. You should know that there are red flags. Things like controlling behavior. Somebody is controlling the other person. Controlling the person, telling the person, oh, you cannot, you have to be online with me on all the time till 12, and you are going to school the next day. How can that person really loves you? How? Because of course you need enough sleep as a young child. At least 8 hours sleep. Controlling you, telling you that if you come from school, you must come you must go from your school to my school, and then we'll meet on the road, and all manner of things. Just controlling you, asking you for your bank account, asking you for information that you don't want to let out, manipulating you, gaslighting you, making you second guessing yourself, telling you what you did not do, and they say you did it, and you're like, I didn't remember doing that, I didn't remember saying that. Or they tell you, oh, we told you. I told you this social story. I told you about this and this. And you're like, you never told me that. You are gaslighting me. And they'll make you to be feeling as if gaslighting means they are making you to second guessing yourself. Whether you notice that they took your pin of your social media. After some time, you discover they took it, and they're like, oh, you were the one that gave it to me. No, I didn't give it to you. And gaslighting is like, you say, no, you were the one that gave it to me. And then they will be lying. They are actually lying to the point, and they are so serious about it that you would think that you actually did it. But you know in yourself that, no, I didn't do that. That is what we meant by gaslighting. Don't let anybody say gaslight you. Those are characteristics or behaviors that you see in relationship that makes you to know that there's a red flag. This is something to run away from. Then online safety too. This is talking to parents and teenagers here. I want you to think before you share personal information. Teenager, whether you're a boy or a girl, I want you to be thinking. Think before you share that information online. Who am I sharing it with? Who am I sharing this information with? Protect your personal information, and that's it here. Never share your full name, address, school, or phone number publicly. And for you parents, remind your teenager, your children, not to share location in post or profile. I see a lot of this going on Snapchat. All of them know where they are, the location, where they are. And that could be dangerous. Somebody can actually trace you as a child, or can trace your child as a parent. Tell your children to learn to what? Use strong password and private setting. Keep social media account set to private. Check who can see your post, your friend list, and your location. Always review your private setting on your phone, on your social media. Don't just let anybody, just any individual, strangers, just come into your space just because you're online. People you don't know, don't accept their friends' request. Beware of strangers' online relationship. Beware. Know who you are talking to. Only accept friends or follower requests from people you actually know. Be cautious. Young people, I'm talking to you. People online are not always who they say they are. And this reminds me of a story, true life story. The guy is in UK here. We started this thing when he was 14 years old. This young man, this young person was targeting girls in other continents, Australia, America, Canada, and all of those places. On his profile, he appears to be like a 13 years old girl. And he put a picture of a 13 years old girl there. And then he first of all start chatting with you. He send a message to you, say you want to be your friend. You say, oh, then you look for something that the two of you are in common, because you that check your status, you that check your profile. Especially those of you that have your social media handle, things like, oh, sexy.2. You know, some of you teenagers, you know the way you set up your profiles. Adult will write our own as, oh, my name now, right? Lola Alabi. That's the way I set my name up. But teenagers nowadays, young children nowadays, if you see them on social media, you will see something like Jojo_2. You'll be wondering, who is that? 11AA2D. Gorilla Fasha. You'll be wondering, who are those? Because you don't want people to know who they are. But mind you, when you start using sexual content in creating a name as your profile, those are the individual they are targeting. And that's what happened in this young man case. So anything, whenever you see a profile, a social media handle of a young person, you know, and ask anything sexy around it, you go for that person. Or he sees their picture, you know, the way the way they dress, and you know, he target those ones. And he was doing that until he was caught at age, I think it was 21 when they eventually caught him. By the time, and what happened, one of the girls that he was abusing, because this is what he does. He will first of all take a picture of his nude, he will send it to you, and then be telling you must send your own. Whereas that picture is not his own. Don't forget, he was appearing as a 13 years old girl. He was actually a man. So he now sent a picture of a nude girl, or you know, a video. He first of all got the video of a nude girl, got the picture, the video, and we now send it to that lady, that a new friend who is 13, around 13, 14. And that one will be like, oh, I must, okay, let me send my own too. Then you replicate, and the lady, the young girl, will not send her own. And you will like, you send more. You send more pictures. Send more pictures. Because he's a pedophile. He's using it. He's selling it. Telling her that this is how she wants to do. This is how you must bend your head and take the picture and all of that. And the time came, she got tired. This particular lady, it happened in America. She got tired and she killed herself. And the parents were like, how come she killed herself? They wanted to know what happened. And eventually, you know, the FBI, they trace it. They trace out where the message was coming from, and they trace it all the way from America. They trace it back to UK. And they got the guy. By that time, I remember he was 14 when he started this rubbish. He was always in his room by himself. That's why I'm saying to parents on the call, when your child is just by themselves in their room, you need to know what they are doing. And by the time they caught him, they said over, if I can remember top of my head, over 9,000 nude pictures of young girls were found on the system. All manner of things were there. The guy had been jailed now. So please know who you are talking to. Turn off your location sharing. Disable your location in apps like Snapchat, Instagram, gaming platform. Use ghost mode or similar features unless sharing with trusted family, unless you are dealing with trusted family. I want you to be thinking before you post as a teenager. Remember, once something is online, you can lose control of it. It's as simple as that. You will lose control of it. Don't forget, last year I talked about a footprint. Anything you share online is online. Even if you say, oh, I've deleted it, you might delete it from your phone, but it's not deleted. All we just need is an IP address. They'll use your IP address. They'll bring out everything that you have ever posted. You'll be shocked. I remember a story of a young lady. I tell true life story. The lady wanted to be a counselor down south in UK here. But there was something she posted many years ago on Facebook. And they have already started congratulating her, in her post and all of that. Then somebody went and brought out that post. Do you know, when they brought out that post, they shamed the girl, and the girl had to relinquish the post. She couldn't go on with the position, with the promotion anymore. She couldn't, because what she posted was so totally contrary to what she wants to do now in the future. So as a young person, I want you to be thinking before you post things, before you start putting your naked picture online, before you start undressing yourself, before you start talking anyhow, before you start typing and saying all manner of rubbish things against people. Even some of you are so rude. You'll be talking to adults, abusing them, talking anyhow to government officials. Just because you are in your house, that doesn't mean that they cannot get you. Even if they don't get you, those posts can be used against you in the future. I don't know whether you have heard. Nowadays, before employer employs you, they go into your social media to go and check your content. They go and check your handle. They want to see what the things you have posted in the past. What are the things you have been saying? What are the things you have been posting? They will use that to judge you, not just because of your competency. You might be good, but how about your character? And I want you to, as a teenager, as a tweener, as a young person here, I want you to learn to talk openly. Teenagers, please tell your parent or trusted adult if something feels uncomfortable. If somebody is always, catching up with you when you're coming home, telling you that you must do this, you must do that, and you don't want to do, you know that what they are telling you to do, tell your parent. It's not snitching. That's not being a snitch. That's not being a snitch at all. You need to report these individuals, whether they are young people like you or adults. You must report them so that they can be dealt with. If you don't, and you keep saying that, oh, so that they will not call me a snitch in school, you better do, or else those ones that are bullying you now or that are harassing you now, they will grow up and you still meet them in your workplaces. They will still continue to harass you. And that's why we need to deal with them now. You need to curb those habits in them. And that's why you need to report them. Report them to your parents, report them to trusted adult, report them to police. And I'll be giving you numbers that you can call as well. Please, I know a lot of us are on games. We do games online. Stay safe while gaming. Parents, please, if you can use parental control or restricted mode when needed, please do. Don't share personal detail over voice chat or messages as well. I'm talking to you, young boys. Teenagers, I'm talking to you. Most of you are the one that are always on game, doing game online, playing games with people, individuals you don't know. Please set healthy screen habits. Agree on a screen-free time, bedtime, family time, home time, homework time. Know when to put your phone away. Know when to put your laptop away. As a young person, use features like screen time or digital well-being to track how much of hours you are spending. A young man had told me before in a Real Boy Smart Girl that we do face-to-face. He told me he normally stay online 18 hours. That was what he told me, 18 hours. I said in 18, and how many hours do you have in a day? 24. So that means you have only just 6 hours. That means you don't really do anything. That's all you do. My question now then is, where is the mom? Where is the dad? Where are they? It could be that they have gone to look for work, or whether they have gone to do their work. Daddy have gone to do his shift. Mommy have gone to do her shift. And he's at home. Nobody's to caution, and that's neglect. That's what we are talking about. And such children, such teenagers, they'll get to school the next day, they'll be so cranky, they'll be so angry, they'll be so aggressive, because they've not actually had time to sleep. They've done game all through the night. You are talking to them in class, teaching them, they are sleeping. As teenagers, please look after your own well-being. Unfollow account that make you feel stressed or pressurizes, or you feel insecure. You don't have to follow everybody. There are some celebrities you need to unfollow because they are bad for you. And you unfollow them, people that are teaching you to be abusive, harmful to women, teaching you bad things. Just because they are celebrities, you don't have to follow them. Take break from social media when needed. It's not compulsory. If you don't open your system on a day, it doesn't matter. You don't have to always open it. Please and please report bullying and inappropriate messages. There's a way you can report it in all our social media: Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever system, TikTok. There's a button you can press that can say report. If somebody saying an inappropriate thing to you, report the person, whether it's a young person or an adult. And beware of the danger of sexing. I've talked about that. Don't go and take a picture of yourself or video of yourself, do a video of your naked self and be posting it, because that your so-called boyfriend or girlfriend you're sending it to also have friends, and his friends has friends, who they will not spread all the news around. Do you want that to be spread around? Do you want your image of your person, of your body, to be shown to everybody in the world? Are you not ashamed of yourself? And I hope you know that can still be used against you in the future. You don't know what you can become. If you now become a prime minister, and then somebody now says, no, she can't be a prime minister. I remember when we were in secondary school together, she took a picture of a nude of herself. This is the picture. I hope you know, at least in the UK, I can guarantee you, the day that video comes out, that is the last day, you will never function as a prime minister. There's no way. In the public place, they will not allow you. And that's why you have to be thinking now, before you do the things you are doing as a teenager. Think online safety. Now, as a child, as a young adult, as a teenager, you have a right as well. You have a right to feel safe. You have the right to be listened to by your mom, by your dad, by your school teacher, by your head teacher, by adults, by the police. You have the right to be supported and protected. You have the right to ask for help. Don't die in silence. Don't let anybody bully you into quietness. You have a right to know who to and how to report any abuse or harm that is going on around you. You have a right. You have a right, children. And that's why I'm telling you these things. I don't want you to be naive of these things. And that's why we're talking about it. Now, why does safeguarding support your well-being and life? Why does it support you? Safeguarding isn't just about preventing harm. It's about creating a safe environment where you can grow, you can learn and thrive. Number one is to protect you from harm. That's why we're talking about these things, so that it will protect you from harm, physical abuse or emotional harm, neglect, which are the things we talked about, online risks such as cyberbullying or grooming, is to protect you. That's why we're talking about safeguarding. You need to know these things, and your parents as well. How you can be protected from all of these things. Unsafe situation at home or in the community is to protect you from unsafe situation at home or in the community. It could be that in your home, two adults that are not thinking are fighting and they're always throwing things at each other. You need to report it before they break your head. When as a teenager you feel protected, you are more confident and more able to focus on your schoolwork, on your friendship at school and activities. You'll be able to do well in school, in your activity, in your friendship. You'll just be a well-balanced person. It's to protect you from harm. That's why we are talking about these things. Because safeguarding protects your well-being. It supports your mental and emotional health. When you know there are adults who cares for you, it helps you to know that your feeling matters. Your feeling matters. In the UK here, we are particular about your feelings. In some other places where we come from, nobody cares about how you feel. But in the UK, people are careful and want to know how you feeling about it. How do you feel about it? If you're not feeling too well about anything, you can get yourself out of it. You don't have to stay there and die there. No, your feeling matters. You'll be listening to. Your emotional well-being will improve. When you are safeguarded, and supported, it will reduce stress over your life, fear, and loneliness, and help you to work, to build resiliency. You'll be able to bounce back. You'll be able to do things that you want to do. You'll be able to come out from whatever negative situation or failure you have been in, and you'll be able to come back triumphant again when you are being supported mentally and emotionally in making sure that you are well protected. Why safeguarding for teenagers and young people is to empower you with the knowledge of your rights. Now, I told you your right. You have a right to report. You have a right to be safe. It empowers you with the knowledge of what is safe and what unsafe behavior looks like. If your classmate, your age mate is pushing you to the wall and almost want to kiss you, forcing you, you should know that that is wrong. You shouldn't be looking. You should tell the person, go off me, and then you go and report immediately. Report to a reasonable and trusted adult so that they can deal with it. Whether somebody of an age group or an adult. Where this safeguarding training is to empower you with the knowledge of how to recognize warning signals. I told you about the red flags in some of your boyfriend and girlfriend relationship that you are in. When your boyfriend cannot see you talking to somebody else, he's always jealous, always beating you up, always harassing you, embarrassing you. Red flags, coercing you, telling you to bring your bank card, collecting money from you. Are you his mom? Or are you his dad? Telling you to go and you must bring the money, you must steal from your mom and dad. Why is safeguarding important? It's to empower you with the knowledge to make good decisions, set boundaries, and protect yourself and others. It's to help you build trust, save relationship. It helps you to learn who you can talk to, such as trusted adults, teachers, church safeguarding team members, helplines. We have a lot of helplines, which I'm going to show you the numbers to call. Knowing support is available will help you feel secure and prevent issue from escalating, from going beyond your control. It encourages positive behavior and healthy choices too, because safeguarding will promote respect. It will promote consent. What you don't want, you don't want. Your no is no, your yes is yes. Kindness, responsible online behavior. This will help you develop positive relationship and reduce harmful behavior like bullying or risky online activity. And I just remembered now, another abuse that happens to teenagers. You see whether you take bus all the time or train, and then you see an adult, a grown-up man who is always trying to entice you, or who is always trying to be your boy, wanting to be your friend, trying to push himself on you. I hope you know that that is wrong too. You can report it. These are real life situations that I just remembered now. If you're a young girl and you see somebody who is always stalking you in the bus or in the train or anything, your means of transportation, you're always seeing the person on the street, always waiting for you to talk to you, and you don't want to talk to the person. Anybody above 18, you need to report them. Even those that are under 18, that you don't want anything to do with them, you must report it. And that's why we are talking to you now. You can't say you don't know. Some of you, I know you might not have all your friends say, please help me communicate these things to your friends because they don't know. Support and one of the other reasons of safeguarding is to support your growth into a healthy, confident adult. When you are safe and supported, you can focus on your education. You can form healthy friendship. It helps to build your self-esteem. You have self-confidence. You don't feel ashamed. You don't belittle yourself. It helps you explore your interest. It helps you to plan a positive future for yourself. Safeguarding creates a foundation for a stable, successful adult life. If you are safe and you are okay in a safe environment, you will just be stable. You'll be a stable, successful adult person. And that's why we are talking about this. We want you to be that. We don't want you to be a broken adult. A lot of adults you see, they are broken. They have a lot of child trauma because a lot of us were even raised with cane anyway. They beat you boss anyhow. And all of those things, of course, it helps our parents because it helps it helps the child to quickly behave. But the long-term effect of it is bad. Low self-esteem, people have child trauma, and all of these things that happens. Signs of concern. What are the signs of concern? There are some signs you will see in your friends as a teenager, as a young person, that should be a concern to you as a child. When your friends or even yourself, you have a change in your behavior, your mood or appearance of yourself or your friend. These are signs of concern. Parents, these are things you should look out for. Children, you should look out for these things. When your jovial self now become all of a sudden gloomy, you are always sad, you don't want to be among people, that means something is wrong somewhere. Your friend avoiding other friends or activity. It could even be your friend that you're concerned about. That your friend that used to like to go out with you is avoiding everybody, doesn't want to do anything. Whether somebody who knows whether she has been raped, or somebody has spoken ill of her, or they are cyberbullying her. These are signs of concern you should watch out for. Unexplained injuries. Feeling unsafe or scared. Someone touching you inappropriately. Someone threatening or fighting you. Someone sending you inappropriate or uncomfortable messages. These are signs of concern. Don't keep quiet when any of this is happening to you. Trust your instinct and speak up if something feels off. If you notice your friend have bruises, you ask, are you okay? What happened to you? Or someone send you an uncomfortable, inappropriate message, text, or video of themselves. These are signs of concern. You should block the person and report that number. These are signs that you should watch out for. Now, if you are worried, what do I do if I'm worried about these things, these signs that perhaps you see these signs in yourself or in somebody else? Talk to a trusted adult. It could be in yourself or your friend, whether you notice it in your friend. Talk to a trusted adult. It could be your teacher, your parent, your resident pastor, your carer. It could be even, just get a trusted adult. Don't keep the worries of this to yourself. If it's about your friend that you are worried about that girl or that boy, talk to an adult. You can also contact, safeguarding team. You have the pastoral team in your school too. Safeguarding team in your school, speak to them. Speak to a friend, but still report it if you feel, you've seen all the signs that your friend or yourself or you are in danger. And you are never to be blamed for any abuse that happens to you. But I'm also saying, like now in the weather now, the weather is changing, the weather is getting hot. I will encourage you girls, please dress decently. Is that okay? It's important as well. Don't expose yourself. Don't make yourself a prey. Now, how do I get help or report concern? If you got concern as a teenager or a child, this is what to do. In an emergency, call 999 immediately. If you know that this is a life and death matter, call 999. Let me give you a typical case of where you can call 999. A real life story. If a girl says, oh, my stepfather is trying to sleep with me when my mom is not, and that is your friend, that's an emergency. What you guys need to do is to call 999 immediately, because if that girl, that friend of yours, go back to that house, that a pedophile that is the stepfather can do anything to her. So what they will need to do is to take her out of that environment immediately, and then investigation will start. But at times, some of your concern may not be that urgent, may not be that life-threatening. So you can speak, you can call chat line 0800 111. You can speak to your youth worker, teens teacher, children church teacher, your church safeguarding lead as well. You can call the number of NSPCC. Then you can also speak to your counselor in school, your GP, the GP in your surgery, your doctor. You can speak to them in your school. Your pastoral head, you can speak to them as well. If you've got concern, make sure you talk to any of these people. You can call them, give them a ring. Speak out, please. Spot it, stop it, and what? And let's deal with it. And make sure we keep everybody safe. Right. I want us to go into this few scenario, and this one is going to be interactive. I want us to read this scenario, and if you know the answer, just like the way I'm raising mine here now. I've just raised my hand, and tell us what this teenager should do. The first scenario, we're going to be looking at 3 scenarios. Number 1, online stranger contact. A teenager receives friendly message from someone they met online. The person starts asking for personal photos and to meet them in person. Let's discuss, what should this teenager do? Who can they tell? Yes, if you know what this teenager should do, please can you raise your hand and tell us what this teenager should do? Yes, raise your hands if you want to tell us. It could be a parent, it could be a teenager. I've got my teenagers in there. Don't let me start calling your names. I can see your names there. What should we do in this situation? Any Bukonluwa, Bernard, I can see you there. Esther, Favor, yes. Don't let me start calling your name, my teenagers. Joy, yes, go for it. Unmute yourself and tell us what you will do. If you are this teenager, what will you do? Yeah, go for it. Unmute yourself.
So I think what the teenager should do is to tell a trusted adult.
Is to tell an adult. Okay. What other thing will you do apart from telling that adult? What will you do with the person himself that's asking for photo, pictures, videos?
Ignore.
You ignore. Will you ignore or block the person?
Report him to block.
Report and block the number. Thank you, Joy. Thank you so much on there. Thank you so much. Yes. Any other person want to add to this before we move on? Are we all in agreement with what Joy said there? That we should report it. You should block the person. Isaac, thank you for that floating tom there if that's what you would do. Make sure you don't give in. Report it if you need to report it. Is that okay, everyone? Now, let's see the second scenario. Bullying at school. A student is repeatedly mocked and excluded by peers. They stop wanting to attend school and become withdrawn. What signs shows something is wrong? How can their friends support them? Yes, anybody? Okay, tell a trusted adult. Judah, thank you. How about the second scenario? You can unmute yourself and tell us how will you deal with it. Rema, yes? Unmute yourself.
They can tell safeguarding teams.
Yeah, you can tell safeguarding team. What will you tell safeguarding team in this situation?
You can tell them if it's physical or verbal bullying and how it's affecting you in your physical and mental health.
All right, bullying at school. Any other person? Thank you, my dear. Any other person wanting to add to that? Judah, what are your thoughts? Esther? Enolua Bukola Nimi, yes. I can see all my teenagers there. Some of you are using your mom's or dad's social media handle. Yes. What will you be doing in this instant? A student is repeatedly mocked and excluded by peers. They stop wanting to attend school and become withdrawn. What sign shows something is wrong? How can their friends support them? Yes, anybody? What are the signs that shows that something is wrong in this particular scenario? What are those signs? Let's talk about the signs first. What are some of the signs you can see from this scenario here? Can put it in the chat or mute yourself and tell us. Bukola, Oluwayomi, yeah? Esther? One of the signs you see is repeated mockery. You know, when somebody is being mocked, it's not funny. Imagine you are that person. How would you like to be mocked? Nobody would like to be mocked. And then you are being excluded by peers. That's another sign. They do, and of course, that's what people were doing to them. And because of that, that makes that person not wanting to attend school. And when they should be in school, and then they now become withdrawn, they are not even talking with people. These are signs that shows to you that something is wrong. And you can support your friend by what? By reporting it to safeguarding team, the pastoral team of your school. You can stand with the person. Ask the person, are you okay? What do you want to do? What help do you need? Kemi said the child can be depressed, withdrawn, and moody, both at home, even in school. Absolutely. And they will start doing bad in their school work. They might not be giving their best because they will lose interest in school work. They will lack confidence. Exactly. Thank you. Eni Bukola, thank you. And that's why me and you, we need to rise up to help. Because if you are the one in that situation, will you like somebody not to help you? Of course, you would like someone to help you. And that's why me and you are there to protect ourselves and our friends. The next one, unsafe home environment. This is the third scenario. A young person noticed frequent arguments at home, whether between mom and dad, and feels scared at home. They don't know who to talk to or whether to speak up or whether speaking up is okay. What steps can they take? What adult could help in that situation? Yes, let's talk about this one. As a young person, you notice there's always fighting between your mom and dad. This is a scenario, it's not about you. I'm just talking about this scenario. And that person feels scared at home. They don't know who to talk to. There's always rancor in the house. No peace. What steps can they take? Anybody? Teenagers? 20? Can unmute yourself and speak to us. If you know somebody that is in that situation, how can you help them? What should they do? Did they continue to bear with it? Anybody can put your answers in the chat. Of course, this situation is quite a critical one because it has to do with parents, their loved ones. They may not want to report it, but that's not the best. They can talk to a trusted adult. Thank you, ma'am. They can talk to a trusted adult who can come in and help their family. They can talk to their pastor. They can talk to their teacher who can come in and help their parent to straighten things out between them. They should talk to someone outside their home who can help, who can see how best these individuals can get it right among themselves. And what adult could help? I will have mentioned some of these adults that could help in this situation because it's a toxic environment to live in. Adults are supposed to be reasonable. They are supposed to be able to complement one another. So sometimes it doesn't happen. They're supposed to compromise, to live well with each other, and put you children in a place of danger. And that is enough a safeguarding concern in the UK. And that's why you see some children have even been taken out of their homes. Because when father and mother are not listening and they are throwing things at each other, it could harm the child. Or when they are using verbal words at each other, those two have impact, just as if you are using knife to dagger somebody. It's as serious as that. Where you see, in fact, I just remember a story now that somebody shared with me recently. She said she was at the car wash and she met this man, and the man said he just want to talk to somebody, and said he now spoke to this lady. Said, okay, what is the issue? He said, I just been sent out of my house. He said, what happened? The lady asked him what happened. He said, my daughter went to school and reported that I raped their mom every night. And then the lady said to the man, is that true? The man said, yes. But it's my wife. Don't forget consent. In the UK, whether you are paid the dowry or not, it doesn't matter. As long as you are married, you have to ask for consent. Even when you are not married, consent must be upheld. A lot of young men have been sent to prison just because they did not get consent before they have sex with the person or they touch the person. And that's why we are careful. We don't touch people anyhow. You don't hug people anyhow. So this particular man, the lady now said to her that whatever the social services have told you to do, go and do them. And just listen and go for all the parental courses that you need to go for. Because apparently what he was doing, it was one of the daughters that keep hearing their mom in the night crying almost every day that went to school and reported it. And that was how social services came into the situation. And that was how the woman that was being abused was rescued. And then they went about making sure they have parental courses, do all the things that they taught them how to behave and live with each other in a harmonious way. And after a long while, the man now called this lady to say that he has been restored back to the house. Because sometimes some of the behaviors that we do that you see is traced to our culture. Some of the places where we come from is normal there. But in the UK, it's not. It's counted as an abuse. And they don't know. And this adult needs to unlearn and relearn. God will help all of us in Jesus' name. So these are many, many stories I can't tell you. I have all manner of stories, and they're all real life stories that have happened. And that's why we all need to be careful They are all safeguarding concern. Whether you're a parent or a child or a teenager, we don't want you to live in an unsafe environment. Now, this is my final thought. Safeguarding is a shared responsibility. Whether you're a teenager, you're a young adult, you're a tweenie, or an adult, a parent, or a carer, it's a shared responsibility among all of us. We are to safeguard everybody. And we are all called to action, to work together to create a safer, supportive community for ourselves and for the people around us. That is our job. We are called to work together. When you see, don't keep quiet. Don't say, oh, it's not my concern. Oh, no, it's yours. Because that child that is being abused, that child that is being bullied, and you're not saying anything, can actually die. If that child dies, what becomes of you? What will your conscience be saying to you? When you can actually have helped that person, could have helped that situation. Please don't keep quiet. When we need to act, we need to act. God will help me and you in Jesus' name. And that takes me to our plenary and question and answer time. Do we have any question in regards to what we have been looking at? Or any contribution? Parents, teenagers, anything you feel that we need to add to what we have discussed so far? Now, if you are still thinking of your question, fine, you can put your question in the chat. But what is your takeaway from this session? What are your takeaways? What is it that you have learned in this session? You can unmute yourself or raise your hands or put your answers in the chat. What is your takeaway from this session? Yes? Anybody? Before we wrap up? What's your takeaway? All the teenagers, let's talk. Okay, nobody's saying anything. All right then. So I will have to shut down then. I want to say a big thank you to every one of you for engaging with us. Remember, I'm your safeguarding trainer. You can come
Please, can I just ask a question?
All right, please do.
I just wanted to say, you talked about the signs. What, I'm sorry if this was addressed and I missed it. What would you advise where you see a young person who the change in their behavior is so dramatic? Somebody who is really bubbly and joyful, and all of a sudden they're very withdrawn and very timid in in their outlook, and you can't get anything out of them. Um, as a as a as a youth lead, as a parent, so what would you advise? This is something I've witnessed. And we know something is wrong, but
Absolutely.
there's no evidence, nothing.
There'll be evident. They say that there is no smoke without a fire, isn't it? It's just that you are yet to locate what the source of the problem is. If a child that is bubbling before all of a sudden become withdrawn, it could be that the person was raped. It could be that a change of environment, because a lot of our children have just migrated from Africa, from Asia into UK. It could be migration issue. People who had all their life, they've lived in certain places, they've had their friends, and then all of a sudden, mommy and daddy says that we are going to UK. And that is enough to impact any child. And it does impact children in varying degrees. Just moving from one location in a city center, from one area, from one end of a town to another in the same town, could impact on children. And that's why these things are important. It could be that, it could be many things, sincerely. It could even be that the perpetrator of that abuse is in the house. I've heard of cases where a father was sleeping with the children. The father or the parent of the children were trying to sleep with the girls that he has. And the woman has to actually run away eventually with the children. They left him. Five children. I'm telling true life stories. So sometimes it could be many things. It could be that so-called stepbrother or step-uncle or stepfather is trying to get at the girl. And the girl have done all, and they've told the girl, if you say it to anybody, I'm going to kill you, or I'm going to send you back to Africa. And you know, when you scare children, when you threaten children, they tend to keep quiet because they don't know their right from their left. And that's why we are teaching this thing to children. We are teaching it to them so that they know the signs, so that they are not maltreated. So, there are a lot of there will be definitely, it's just getting the right question to that child. Getting that child close enough to be able to talk to a trusted person. It may not even be abuse. It may just be just change of environment. Like I said, it might just be migration issue. Having left his or her friends behind. Now, thank you. Talk to a trusted friend when feeling pressurized, when pressured. Yeah. Don't keep it to yourself, because like you said, in this particular case of this lady now, this young person who is withdrawn and is not talking to anybody, I can tell you all he or she needs is to speak to a therapist. They will get it out of her. And that's why you can take them to a therapist, a counselor. Let them have conversation with that person. Because if you as a parent, you can't get to them and you are concerned, don't keep quiet. Go and look for a counselor, a therapist that you can take your child to, who can get at them. Because they know how to talk to them. They know the right question to ask them. They know how to befriend them in conversation to get the right word out of them. Because you, the mom or dad, may not feel comfortable with you. Because whether in the past you have misjudged them, you have not handled situation right in the way they would have thought you would, and they don't just trust you.
Yeah.
I hope I've answered your question, ma'am.
Yeah. Sure. Thank you.
And these are some of the signs of concern as well. Any other question? Any other contribution? I could see the plenaries there. I could see what is your takeaway? Somebody says, not giving consent is an abuse. No, Rema, when you don't give consent and the person goes ahead, that is an abuse. You don't have to consent to everything. No, you don't have to consent to anything. You don't have to. You have a right to say yes or no. And that person must maintain boundary. If they step beyond their boundary, then that person will be dealt with. Consent lies with you. Is that okay? I hope you get what I'm saying there, Rema. Learn to talk to a trusted person when you feel pressure. Don't keep quiet. Life does not answer to that. Life answers to people that can spot it, deal with it, stop the abuse, and then what? Make sure that everybody is safe around you. It's about making sure that everyone is safe around us. Right. Thank you so much, everyone. Let's just pray. Father, we thank you for this evening. We thank you for what you have taught us. Thank you for the people you have brought on the call. Thank you for all the things we've learned. We return all the glory and all the praise back to you. We ask that you keep every of our teenagers, all our twins, Lord, keep them safe. As they go and come from school, Lord, keep them. Let your angel watch over them. And let us as parents help us, oh God, to raise and help them live in a safe environment all the days of their life. Thank you for helping us. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We hope to see you in June. And of course, you see we will definitely see our poster for next one that we're going to be having. We really appreciate your coming. God bless you, everyone. Thank you.